Welcome to Covers' Blitz Show. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Derek Carty. These are numbers. These are his projections. Week 1 DC, Detroit at Kansas City. Kansas City down to a 4.5-point favorite. Total hitting as low as 52 following the Travis Kelce injury news from Tuesday. How difficult is it to project anything on the KC side? The injury we know is probably going to take most people out, but Travis Kelce doesn't miss games. He could be in there. There's a lot of things they could do. Andy Reid could employ him for. How hard is that to project numbers here on the Kansas City offense?
It's incredibly hard. Is he going to play? If he plays, is he going to be a decoy? Is he going to play on limited snaps? How effective is he going to be? How is that going to trickle down to everyone else in the KC offense? What is the KC game plan going to look like, if Kelce is limited or not playing at all? There's a lot of question marks in this game, and it starts with Travis Kelce.
Yeah, but if you're following us last year, this is how we do things. We have Derek's plays and we have Derek's leans. Last year, Derek's plays were 33-16 for plus 16 units, and on the year, 80 and 66 for just over 18 units. That's where we finished off the season. Start to finish on every primetime game. That's where we'll be Thursday, Sunday night, and Monday night. But we start things off Week 1, Thursday night football, Derek, with your first play. It's a full play. David Montgomery, under 1.5 receptions, plus 165. That's the high point of the book. That's a 365, seen as low as plus 145. Many think that Montgomery's a decent pass-catching back, but if he has the Jamal Williams role in this offense, might not have the same situations as he did in we can call it a piss poor passing attack in Chicago that really couldn't go downfield.
Yeah, this is a very different situation than he was in last year. Last year, he was a guy who was targeted a good amount in the passing game. We don't know for sure, but it seems likely that that is going to go down this year. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round. He's going to be their guy on third down in hurry up situations and 2-minute drill situations. Montgomery presumably is going to be more of a first and second down kind of guy, maybe picking up, some spare work here and there in the passing game. But for the most part, we're not expecting Montgomery to be a big part of this passing attack. Under 1.5 receptions, the best price right now is plus 165 at Bet365. That looks like a really good play to me right now. The Blitz is projecting right around 1.5, which means this has a 51% chance of hitting, which 51% chance at plus 165 is very, very good. The other thing I like about this play is that if you look at Montgomery's receiving yards market, which generally tends to be more popular, move quicker, and you see what's happening in Montgomery, it's been plummeting. And what I really like to see is that Pinnacle is the low man in that market. Open at 13.5 minus 117. It's down to 12.5 minus 147. The receptions market generally trails behind the receiving yards market. And so we're still able to get in on Montgomery at a good number with his receptions. And so I'm really liking this play here.
So if this was recorded on Wednesday, if you're seeing this on Thursday and that line has moved because Derek's numbers do have influence on the market, if we see that move, always look at what the projection was. The projection was about a 50% win rate. So even at plus 125, it's showing value. Not something we'd play at that number probably, but it's still showing value nonetheless.
Yep, that's exactly it. So if you can get it, even if the 165 is gone, if you can find it at 150, 145, 140, you're still definitely getting good value on that.
We're going on a lean. We're going Jerick McKinnon under 25.5 receiving yards, even money. That's pretty widely available. It's a pretty interesting game plan. I mean, last year, the Chiefs gave up, I think, the 5th most receiving yards to opposing running backs. Detroit, the stingiest defense to opposing running backs in receiving yards at 20 per game. We're also coming into a season, I believe, where all 3 backs are maybe healthier than they've been before. So there is some pecking order. He probably has the spot down, but 25.5 is a big number here for a team that was a 6.5-point favorite just earlier in the week.
Yeah, it is. He opened at 18.5, and then after the Kelce news, he kind of got boosted up a little bit. I mean, I think there's a lot of ways that he can go under here. First, like you said, all 3 backs are healthy. There's talk of maybe working Pacheco into the pass game mix more. There's talk of maybe giving Clyde Edwards-Helaire, another chance. And so just right off the bat, we don't know that McKinnon is going to have the same role that he had last year. Then there's the chance that Kelce plays. And if Kelce plays, then maybe McKinnon's target share is going to be a little bit lower because Kelce's going to be eating up a lot of that. If Kelce's out, there's a chance they're going to throw less and they're going to run the ball more. There's a chance that he's just going to be game scripted out. If they're playing from ahead, as is projected, they might be running the ball more, especially if Kelce is out and they're ahead. So there's a lot of different ways that this can hit. The Blitz sees it winning about 61% of the time, which at even money is very, very good. You look at where some of the rest of the market is. Pinnacle's down at -143. So we're getting in at even money at a really good spot. I don't love it once you start getting beyond that. If you get -105, -110, it's still pretty good, but it is kind of borderline to begin with. That's why it's a lean, but it is a pretty solid one.
Yeah, I like the outs that you had there specifically. They could be running the ball. Detroit finished 27th in rush success rate last year. Without Kelce, you could see bigger sets in that offense with Gray and Watson and 3 healthy running backs. So there is a possibility that Kansas City just maybe runs the ball with the lead. There's nothing wrong with that. Jerick McKinnon under 25.5 rec yards. Even money, that's the lean. You did mention that it was open at 18.5 before the Kelce news. So if Kelce gets in, you would expect that number to go back down. Use that information as you will. So to recap, a Thursday night football season opener. We are on David Montgomery under 1.5 receptions plus 165. That's a Bet365. That's a play. And then the lean on Jerick McKinnon under 25.5 rec yards, even money. Both project well, but Montgomery is the play there. So there's a lot of news to unravel between now and Thursday night football. Make sure you know what you're doing before you get your bets down. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Derek Carty. This is the Blitz Show brought to you by Covers. We'll see you back here for Sunday Night Football.